What's going on, everybody, and welcome to CS5 Unmasked, bringing you another costume tutorial. Now today we're going to be making the Jason costume from Freddy vs. Jason, and I'm going to be doing this for under $25. Now I am fully aware that $25 really isn't a whole lot of money to try to make a movie accurate costume with, but I'm going to try my very best. So sit back and relax, and welcome to CS5's Cost Cut Costume Tutorials. Alright, let's go and see what we're going to need. We're going to need a mask and a hood, a navy blue undershirt, a dark gray sweatshirt, a jacket or overcoat, a set of black gloves, black sweatpants, and a pair of black work boots. Now being as we're going to make this costume on the cheap, I really need to dig deep to try to save myself a few dollars. So I'm going to be scouring the internet along with hitting up the thrift stores and any yard sales that I can come across to try to find the best deals. Alright, we're going to go and start with the navy blue undershirt. Now being as there's only a small portion of this shirt that's actually exposed, all of the damage is going to be focused just in this area, which is basically just around the collar. Using a pair of scissors and a nail, I'm going to go ahead and apply the damage. Now using a piece of sandpaper, I'm going to go over all the cut marks to make them look a bit more distressed. Now we're going to move on to the sweatshirt. Now I couldn't find a dark gray one, but this light gray sweatshirt will actually work just fine. We'll go ahead and darken it up a bit later. Now using a pencil, I'm going to mark out all of the damage that we need to apply to the shirt. Now using a pair of scissors, I'm going to go ahead and remove the lower elastic band on the sweatshirt. And once that's completed, I'm going to proceed to apply the damage to the shirt. Now once again, go ahead and take the sandpaper and go over all of the cut marks. Now moving on to the sweatpants. Now again, I'm going to be using a small razor blade, along with a pair of scissors and using a nail. I'm going to create all the damage that I need. Now trying to find a jacket that looked pretty movie accurate was a lot harder than I thought, especially trying to find one that wasn't very expensive. So after stopping by several thrift stores, I was able to come across this jacket right here. Now I know it's not movie accurate, but I hope it's going to work. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply the damage. I'm referencing tons of photos and constantly rewatching the movie, just so that I know that I'm putting all the damage on the jacket where it needs to be. Now after marking out most of the cut marks with a pencil, I went ahead and laid the jacket down and proceeded to make my cuts using a small razor blade. So after I had finished applying all the damage to the jacket, I realized that it was actually a little bit too small. So I had to go back to the Goodwill to try to find one a bit larger. And I did come across this particular one. And I'm a lot more satisfied with the way it looks, plus the color's a little more in tune with what I want. So after I had reapplied all the damage to the jacket, I'm going to really make this thing look dirty and grimy. I'm going to start off by using some brown acrylic paint and dilute it down in a spray bottle. I'm going to completely saturate the jacket with the brown water solution. And then I'm going to repeat this exact same process to the sweatpants as well. Once everything is dried, I'm now going to use some black acrylic paint diluted in the spray bottle, and I'm just going to repeat this same process. I'm going to try to hit key locations around the jacket because I really want this thing to look absolutely disgusting. And now we're going to continue on to the sweatshirt and blue undershirt. I'm just going to spray over the entire thing to make it look really grimy and dirty. Alright, now for boots. Now footwear is going to be optional. Wear whatever you feel is comfortable. I just so happen to have a pair of these raggedy old boots laying around the house. As you can plainly see, they've seen better days, so I think they're going to be perfect for this costume. Now for the gloves, these are just a cheap pair of gloves that I did pick up at the dollar store. Now it's time to make the hood. Now I'm just going to use a regular balaclava that I picked up online, and it should work pretty well for what I want to do. Now I went ahead and used a couple push pins to kind of secure the mask to the mannequin head, just so that I didn't have excess fabric in my way. I went ahead and placed a rubber band just under the chin around the neck of the mannequin head. This will actually create a better fit for the hood. Now cutting out some cardboard pieces in the shape of an ear, I'm going to place them under the balaclava so then I can start creating the ears. So now I'm just going to grab a rubber band and loop it around the cardboard to actually create the ears. Now to create the skin for the hood. Now I'm going to be using 100% white silicone to create the flash. I'm going to apply some in my gloved hand, and then I'm going to be adding some black acrylic paint to give it color. I'm going to mix it up relatively well, and just apply it directly to the balaclava. And I'll repeat this process as many times as needed, until I have complete coverage. Now as far as hair for the hood, I was actually pretty fortunate to find this particular wig hair at the Goodwill. Now normally you can buy this online and it really isn't that expensive, but for around $1, I couldn't pass it up. Now I'm just going to take some wig hair out of the package, and I'm going to apply it to the left side of the back of the head, essentially where the strap is going to go. Now I did have a little bit of difficulty trying to keep it stuck to the back, so I had to make up a little bit more silicone just to make sure it was going to stick. Now moving on to the mask. Now this is just going to be a cheap hockey mask that I picked up online, and even though it is pretty cheap, it will work for this costume. I'm essentially just going to remove the snaps off of the mask, but I'm going to keep the strap. We will reuse it. Once the strap has been removed, I'm going to proceed to sand the entire mask. Now that the mask is sanded, we're going to go ahead and proceed to paint it. Now I am going to be using some khaki acrylic paint as far as my base coat. I'm going to rub it all over the mask until I have a consistent and even coat. All in all, it took about 3 applications to get the mask looking exactly how I wanted it to. Now as far as chevrons are concerned, I'm going to go ahead and trace it out with a pencil and then paint it in with some red acrylic paint. Now using the small razor blade again, I'm going to cause a little bit of damage to some of the vent holes. Now being as there is some inconsistencies from photo to photo, I'm still going to do my best to apply the damage where it needs to go. Now we're going to go ahead and dirty up the mask. I'm going to be using some brown and black acrylic paint. I'm going to apply it to a damp rag and place it in key locations around the mask. Now this is going to make the mask look extremely dirty and dingy. I ended up applying about 5 separate layers of brown and black acrylic paint until I reached the look that I wanted. And overall, I think it actually turned out pretty good. Now we're going to put on the strap. Now being as I'm not using any snaps, I am going to be using some paper fasteners along with a few washers that I picked up online. I'm just going to take a fastener, put it through the washer, then I'm going to poke it through the strap and then just secure it to the mask. Alright, let's go ahead and put the mask on the hood and see what it looks like. You know, it really doesn't look that bad. Maybe a little dark eye makeup and a little black paint on the washers will definitely make a big improvement. Let's go and tally everything up and see how much it actually cost. And as you can plainly see, it's right around $25. Alright, let's go ahead and put everything together and see what it looks like. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and checking out the video. This particular costume took a really long time to make, so I really hope that you like it. So if you have any suggestions for costumes that you want me to make in the future, let me know down below. Alright everybody, until next time, this is CS5 signing out, and I hope to see you in the next video.